We raise so much capital, and our job is to make sure that that capital is always put to use, right? We want to make sure that we're doing our best to provide predictable and reliable returns at all times. In order to do that, as investors give us capital, we have to go, okay, where are we putting it? What deals are we working on right now that we can place it on these deals? What are we doing in our business and able to grow? Hear this episode. This is how we're growing our business. Some of the capital is used to help us grow our business. We wouldn't be able to grow without the investors who say, hey, I not only want to help you with your deals, I want to help you grow. I see what you guys are doing. We're looking at all the capital, where it is, what it's coming from, what the funds are used for, and then we're deploying it and making sure that all the money is being used so that we can pay the returns to our investors and still make a profit.
Hey everybody, Flip and Dani here. Welcome to another exciting episode of The Freedom Show. I always try to think of something different to do, and it's always ends up being the same thing. Sorry, welcome again to another episode. Today, we are peeling back the curtains. And for those of you listening and not watching, you missed me peeking through the curtains. But we're going behind the scenes as much as we can with a Audible podcast.
Oh my gosh. Yes, we are going behind the scenes. So today's a solo episode with Flip and I. You get to hear us talking about what's going on in our business. And because this is the Freedom Show, we really try to tie a lot of the topics to freedom, even when we have guests coming on from our internal network, so that we can introduce them to you. We are hearing their freedom story. So we are thinking about, what we're going to talk about today. And I said, hey, why don't we just talk about, the multiple businesses that we're getting ready to launch here in 2024, because this speaks to freedom. There's many ways to achieve freedom. And one of them is through an active business lifestyle. So you could be a physician, you could be in the legal industry, you could be an entrepreneur like us. There could be many occupations that are high income, and those careers, you have the skills and knowledge to bring so much value. You're earning a lot of money, and through that, you are gaining freedom. You could love your job so much, or the work that you do, or the businesses that you own, that you decide to invest passively, as opposed to other people who may be working for the active income to achieve freedom, and they are earning their way to stop their W-2 or stop whatever they're doing so that they can be active in a different way, or just retire early, things like that. So everybody's journey is different when it comes to freedom. And our journey has been building real estate businesses. So we have 6 as of this episode here in 2024, but we are launching multiple more businesses in this year. And so why would Flip and Dani want to build more businesses? Because every business that we build is another job. And so we have 6 jobs right now, and we might have 10 jobs by the end of this year.
Yay.
And why is that? Because we love freedom. We also love our team and building companies. We love strengthening the freedom family of companies. And so the companies that we build are strategic, and they help create that strong foundation, and every single brick that we lay onto it is just another brick that says, you ain't knocking us over anytime soon. I don't care what type of economy or market it is. We are strong. We do everything in-house. We can control so many pieces of the puzzle that if something happens that we can't go this way anymore, and I'm pointing right in front of me for those of you listening, then we are going to go this way, because that's the way that is going to, create some more revenue streams. So that is why we keep on building businesses, and why we're going to continue to build businesses. And real estate, we strongly believe, is the way to build long-term wealth. It is not overnight. It is not something we are just actually talking about income streams. And we're like, quite frankly, until this year, we haven't had one company that brought us money like that. Like there was no company that said, hey, as soon as somebody invests or as soon as somebody, buys something, we're actually going to make money. We always have to buy a house, renovate a house, tenant a house, then finally make money. So once we start something, there's a full cycle before we bring in revenue.
So So it takes work.
Yeah. Well, a lot of work, and you don't see the
wow.
fruits of your labor for quite a while.
Yeah.
And when it comes to funds and syndications and apartments and self-storage and all of these things that we've been getting into, it takes even longer. That's like more like a 3, 5, and 7 year cycle. And so we've always set up our deals where our investors are getting paid first. So we aren't seeing any money for quite a while. We're just going through the motions, making sure that we're on track, making sure that we're doing the best job we can as the market fluctuates, as inflation and interest rates and everything like that happens. We always just strategically make those decisions to keep us pointed in the right direction where we need to go. And our investors are getting their returns, and we know down the line, eventually, we're going to be actually making some money too, and that's fantastic. So some of the companies that we're building are actually creating some new revenue streams, right? And some of the companies that we're building are not even necessarily companies. They're going to become departments of an existing company.
Right.
So it's just another arm of the business. So do you want to talk about the wholesaling arm? So that's the freshest thing that we've started. We really started it in the end of 2023, and 2024 is really where it's just starting to take off. And we are just getting ready to light it on fire.
Right. Yeah. So in our acquisitions team, so way back in the day when the dinosaurs roamed the earth and I was in charge of the acquisitions, I was always in communication with all the wholesalers in the Southwest Ohio area. And as the story goes, one week I called everybody, nobody had any deals. And we're like, eek, we can't let other people control, our companies like that because we need those houses coming in. That's the fuel that fuels the whole Freedom family. And so we created an acquisitions company, and with the acquisitions company, that was strictly to get houses for us. And we slowly I think last year or the year before, we did like 2 wholesale deals. So instead of getting the deal under contract from the seller and us taking it and turning it into a turnkey property and blah blah blah, we actually sold it to another investor. We wholesaled it. But we really started to focus heavily on this the end of 2023. And so much so that we're like, over the last few weeks, it was kind of and again, it's like you put your peanut butter in my chocolate, what a great, that was a horrible impression, by the way. But it was, the light bulb went over both of our heads. We're like, why aren't we doing more of this? We need to focus on this. We can pour gas on the fire on this and really explode it, because it's so much different than the acquisitions team, because we can go, hey, you know what? Let's do this in Des Moines, Iowa. And we're nowhere close to Des Moines, Iowa, but we can with wholesaling. It's so much easier. It's not easy. It's easier than doing turnkey in a different market. Not that we're going to start working in Des Moines, Iowa, but I'm just saying I have zero interest in working in Des Moines, Iowa.
I was about to say, it's the first time I've heard of Des Moines.
I was trying to think of an obscure reference, and I think I won. And so anyway, so we are really, it's all hands on deck on creating the bulking up. We're not really creating. You sort of like another arm. It's we're almost like doing 2 arms on this one, but because it's going to be that much bigger. But we're still going to be doing turnkey real estate. We're still going to be bringing in turnkey properties for us, and still doing that. But we're going to heavily focus on wholesaling deals, and more so than the turnkey, because the turnkey, I don't think that'll ever go away. It's part of our DNA, man.
It is. And we can just increase the volume, right? Wholesaling, we can scale as big as we really want to. We can go in multiple cities across the United States and be able to buy deals and sell them to other investors in those local areas. So literally, we can ramp up to 20, 40, however many deals that we want to do. And that's really kind of the area that we're looking at, is the 20 to 40 deals a month, just sitting here still in our backyard. But we can continue to expand. It's just economies of scale when it comes to marketing, right? It's just really how much marketing and how many people do we have? What are the metrics in terms of the number of offers that need to be made? And so all of those KPIs are something that we've been studying, and we've tapped into, other people who are working with to build out these teams. So that's just one, and that's one that started really in end of 2023, and now it's launching here in 2024 in a big way. We're already selling multiple wholesale deals here in 2024. Like it's just, I'm like, boom, boom, dang. Like if you're a company that rings the bell, we're like ding, ding, ding,
That's
ding.
right.
We got
That's
another
right.
wholesale deal. So this really helps us too, because there's only so many deals that we can buy in house.
Yeah.
And we've told our investors this. We said, hey, we actually are starting to wholesale deals. So if it's a deal that we don't want, or we don't have capacity to bring in house, we're happy to sell you something that you can turn into a burr. And if we have capacity to be able to help you in some way through our family of companies, we're happy to do that too, or refer you if we know somebody who can help you in our area. So this growth is just helping us to serve our investors better, and it's bringing in so many new revenue streams to our family of companies that 2024 is going to be really, really big. So that's just the first one.
That's the first one.
Yeah. So the second one, I think that's probably, there's two that I think are super close. So we'll talk about, because we're talking about deals, we'll talk about the home supply company. So we've talked about this a few times. We've gone into better detail in our Wealth and Wisdom Wednesday webinars. Woo! Hello, alliteration.
Yeah. Elmer Fudd over here wouldn't have been able to get through that one.
We've talked about a home supply company, and this is us really getting an opportunity and a unique partnership in which we can buy materials at deep, deep discounts. So deep, in fact, that we are lowering our costs to be able to do deals, including our multifamily properties and anything else that we do. But also getting it such a deep discount that we will likely have a warehouse, and will likely store a lot of these materials to be able to sell to other local investors. We might even figure out how to ship it to certain places, and all in an effort to, again, lower our costs, increase our revenue. So that's another revenue stream that we plan to bring in-house. And then the next one, hard money lending company. So with the hard money lending company, this is something that is built because we raise so much capital, and our job is to make sure that that capital is always put to use, right? We want to make sure that we're doing our best to provide predictable and reliable returns at all times. In order to do that, as investors give us capital, we have to go, okay, where are we putting it? What deals are we working on right now that we can place it on these deals? What are we doing in our business and able to grow? Hear this episode. This is how we're growing our business. Some of the capital is used to help us grow our business. We wouldn't be able to grow without the investors who say, hey, I not only want to help you with your deals, I want to help you grow. I see what you guys are doing. So we're looking at all the capital and where it is, what it's coming from, what the funds are used for, and then we're deploying it and making sure that all the money is being used so that we can pay the returns to our investors and still make a profit, right? So that's what we're not a not-for-profit company. We have to pay our overhead. We have to pay our team. We have to hire new people. So we're actually in the middle of a fund manager hire right now because we are getting to the point where we need one person solely in charge of where the money is at, where is it moving, and just all the variables that come into play. And we even are getting ready to launch a new fund. It's a $100 million fund. We're going to be it's actually exists right now, but we're really launching it here towards the end of the year. We're going to be speaking at an event, and it's for a private group who transacts tons and tons and tons of money. And one of the investors that works with us is actually partnering with us on this fund because he was like, hey, I'm a part of this, and this is a big deal, and I love working with you guys. So why don't we go ahead and just, talk to this owner, see if they want to go ahead and add Freedom Family Investments to the portfolio. And so it's a private fund uniquely for this particular situation with hundreds of millions of dollars that are deployed and very few investment offerings. And so Freedom Family is getting to be, one of those investment offerings. That just tells you to the scale of which we are going and why we are proactively bringing on some amazing people. One of my favorite books is Who Not How.
That's right.
And why, Flip?
We learned the hard way.
Yeah.
Yeah, we put the house in a lot of seats before, and it hurt.
It did. I think that's part of the growing pains of growing a business. You don't always have the ability to hire the who, right? The who tends to be expensive. And so you hire people that you can train to do the job, but you're always having to babysit, or you're always having to, dip your hand in. And I won't say always. Sometimes you actually get a team member who's just a rock star and they're able to kind of take the wheel, and you trust them to take the wheel. And that's really what we got to at a certain level where we started hiring core leaders, so that we could relinquish some responsibilities to them and they manage their teams. But we're at a point now that we can hire who's. And why that's important is because as you continue to grow, you've got this strong foundation. So now it's not a matter of growing too fast. You figured it out. Now you're just adding the little pieces that go, hey, this makes us better. This makes us more money. But you don't want to start from scratch and build the entire infrastructure yourself. So this hard money lending company, for example, is partnering with another hard money lending company who has a $35 million, I think they have a $50 million fund, and they have like $35 million actively at use. And they've been doing it for years. I want to say 18, but I could be wrong. So don't quote me on that. I have so many conversations. I don't know which numbers are sticking in my head here. But
shocker.
That's what I mean by who, not how, right? We don't have to build the infrastructure to this. Now we're using an existing company that's already doing it, and at a very, very high level. And now we can raise as much capital as we need. And we know that if we have excess, we're going, hey, we can do more loans. And we just have the applications and the borrowers coming in, and we're able to, fund those loans and keep that money in use. And so that partnership is allowing us to enter into a new business without having to build it all by ourselves or learn any hard lessons. And the fund manager hire that we're working on right now is the other who we want. And we're specifically saying, hey, I want you to have experience with $100 million fund up to $1 billion fund, because I want you to know all the ins and outs, all the financials, all the modeling, all the legal stuff. And I want you to be able to move money predictably and reliable for me and our investors. And so that's what we mean by who, not how. And it's so great to be in that position. Yeah,
I think when we first started, it wasn't a who, not how. It was they're warm blooded and they were breathing. Come on board, and let's see if we can make this company work. But now we're almost 60 team members. So that's
over 60.
Over 60. So it's 60. And so now we have to hire the who's.
Yes.
And we can hire the who's, which is awesome. We not only have to, but we can.
Yes.
Because those who's they come with a price tag.
Yes.
The bigger we get, the more pricey those who's get.
Yes.
And so it's that's what's exciting too. And I just love bringing on the who's, because when they come on board, it's I'm so used to bringing somebody on board and like, oh, I like them. They're nice people. But now we bring somebody on and like, holy crap, that guy's smart, or like, where'd she come from, and so it's like, oh man, I gotta up my never mind, I'm gonna go in the corner. But no, I love it. But that's the who, not how. I'm glad that you found that book and really dug into it as much as you did when you did, because now it's huge.
It's really set us up. Yeah.
So that's company number 15. Where right?
I don't know where we're at in the count, but
I don't either.
I will say a couple things. Like, it's important to know that Flip and I position ourselves to rely on other people who are more experienced in areas of the business than we are. Right? That's really what the who means. It means that Flip and Dani don't have to go and learn this business. Flip and Dani are going to hire somebody who already knows the business and rely on them for their expertise and their knowledge to ensure that we're successful. Now, Flip and Dani don't go, hey, here's a business, go ahead and run it. No, we are hands-on. We create the KPIs. We watch the CEO dashboards, and we make sure that everything is running smooth. We make sure that we're strategically making the right decisions, because with all the family of companies working together, sometimes that gets like a little weird. We have to like take off our family of companies hat and go, okay, I am now just the renovations company.
Mhm.
And I need to make sure that I am serving the renovations company and not bleeding money here because I'm giving a discount to the property management company or giving a discount to the turnkey company or whatever it is. So sometimes we have to take off, the family hat so that we can put on the business hat to say, hey, just because we're a family of companies doesn't mean that each company shouldn't be standing on its own. It should be standing on its own. There was a time when we were creating these companies that we said we actually created all the different entities and didn't put an umbrella company over them in a legal manner,
right.
because we wanted the liability to be separate. We also wanted the ability to sell like different companies, right? Which is further to the point. Every company has to stand on its own.
Right.
Pay for their payroll, pay for their overhead, the software, marketing, whatever it is, still make a profit, right? And as you're building vertically integrated like that, that's not always going to be true. You have to understand as you're building that you may be not profitable for years. You may have one company that's really carrying the rest. That's really what we did with Freedom. Is Freedom was the first company, and as it got profitable, it carried the next one to build, and then it actually carried the next one to build. Like it continued to carry the other companies so that we could keep control and build that foundation. And that was not something that we intended. It was just something that we realized we had to do. And thankful for it because now look at how strategic we get to be in adding on more companies that are strategic. So we've talked about the wholesale
and just
arm.
to add on that real
go
quickly,
ahead.
just to add on that too, the apartments.
Yeah.
Like talk about a slow roll.
Yes.
I mean, this is what's the classic rock song, Slow Burn. I mean, this thing's slow.
Yes.
I mean, this thing, but in like 3 or 4 years from now, it's going to be on fire.
Yes.
And it's going to be paying for everybody else.
Yes.
So yeah, it's perfect. I don't think that we could have done it on purpose as good as we're doing it by accident.
Right?
Way to go.
Everything happens for a reason, man.
All right. So back to the scorecard.
Yeah. So we've talked about the wholesale arm.
Yep.
So that's really an arm of a current business that we have.
It's still another business. Just saying.
It's another product within a company we already have.
Another business. Anyway.
And then we talked about the home supply company that really truly is a business.
Yes, that is.
It is going to fall within our construction company, but it will be its own business. Then we talked about the hard money lending company. And then another arm that we're launching, and we'll probably launch, these next two that we're about to talk about, we'll probably launch. I'm going to say roofing. Roofing will probably launch sooner than the other one that I haven't mentioned yet. So the roofing piece is we have really fantastic roofers who give us great discounts. And the roofers are like, hey, if you guys want to build a roofing arm of your construction company, we'll actually be your roofers. And we'll go to the house, we'll check out the roof, we'll do everything that we do for you, and we'll do it for whoever that needs it. And then you guys are doing the work of actually producing, those leads. So you'll get, part of the pay. And so we were like, okay, what would that really take? And so you start evaluating that. And then you start realizing, okay, home supply company, or where are we going to get the roofing supplies? Oh, they're going to be taking care of it. Okay, so we are not even really responsible for that part. Oh, we don't have to go to the house. Okay, so what do we actually need? I think we need a salesperson. And then I think we need the leads and figuring out what's the best way to get the leads. And so we had a meeting last week. We have a meeting tomorrow morning. And it's all about this roofing arm and how efficiently can we probably just put one person in a seat to be able to manage the ability to get the leads, send them out to our roofers, and manage the process. We might end up with 2 people overall, but probably one person. So another thing, when you have this vertical integration, it becomes easier and easier to plop in a revenue stream and without a whole lot of work because you've got the foundation of all the other companies there and built. So for those people who have always been like, Flip and Dani, you guys are just building too fast. I agreed with them. And I said, hey, it was out of necessity. We didn't go into this going, we're going to build fast and we're going to go crazy and we're going to build 6 companies.
We never, I think there's times that she wakes up and go, can I create a company today? But the roofing thing was crazy though. Seriously. Yeah. Like we have a full roofing team that says, hey, if you run it, we'll, just tell us the address. We'll go do the roof.
Yeah.
It's just, okay. That sounds good to me.
Yeah, but so it just works out, when things are, it's just a lesson to me. We say this so many times, everything happens for a reason. I just truly believe it. I think that you're on a path and your gut kind of tells you when you should say yes and when you should say no. And even we might have said no to some of these things, but because it was out of necessity and we knew it was going to serve us and our investors at the same time, and it was just going to require a lot of work and a lot of hours and a lot of pain. We just said, we'll do it because it was for us and our investors at the same time.
Right.
And that hard work ultimately is paid off because once you get to this level, it just becomes a whole lot easier to start doing that. Now we're taking team members and instead of plopping them into a company that is still growing and still having those growing pains, we're really streamlining our operations. We're really streamlining our financials. We're hiring the people that give us everything that we need to make this a seamless process. That it's just really exciting. So that is another ARM example of what we're doing in 2024. Actually, this is probably going to be an arm. I don't know if it'll turn into a company. We'll have to figure out what that looks like.
I think we got enough arms. Can we do some legs?
But another something, we'll see what it turns out to be, is going to be branch, whatever, is going to be new construction. So new construction, we're actually in the middle of building or planning the building of 2 lots right now. And we are meeting with some friends and people that we know in development, and we're going to be branching out to do new construction. Now you're like, oh my gosh, you guys, you're going into new construction? That's crazy. You don't know how to do new construction. Well, guess what? Who, not how. We have the who.
We found them.
So again, we've got the person in place who's already done it, who's already experienced, has already the resources, already has the crews. So easy peasy. And it's something that is even better because with the housing shortage, the inventory shortage of homes, new construction is just on fire right now. Like, we need to be building more properties and more homes. And this becomes easier for us because we're not dealing with properties that are 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 years old, right? So it's a lot easier to go through this process of building a new property than it is to take an old one and then renovate it.
And there's lots of land in Ohio.
Yes. Yeah. So we're in the process of doing that. That is really just in the planning phases, but I anticipate it will be the new construction piece will definitely be rolled out this year. But the development and everything is, maybe end of this year into 2025. We really have to figure out, we're in the research phase. We're talking to people already doing it and successfully doing it. One of them actually here in Ohio. So I think that I have, there is one more. So our marketing agency. So we're going to be building a marketing agency. And how are we doing that? Well, our team right now serves us. So we have a marketing team, in-house marketing team, plus we have many outsourced people. And so what we're doing this year is we're doing an analysis of, hey, marketing team, if you were to actually charge us for the services that you're doing for all of our companies, what would that look like? And we're just kind of building a spreadsheet that says, here's all the marketing overhead, here's the team, here's the payroll, here's the software, here's their rent at the office, all of it. And then if they come to us and say, hey, Dani, your fund and syndication company uses us for this and this and this. This is from our research, this is what you would typically be paying us to do these activities. And so we're going to create this phantom or pseudo, revenue stream on this spreadsheet that has all the expenses and say, okay, Freedom Family owes the marketing team this much per month for the work that they're doing. And ultimately what we're looking at is our marketing team right now serving our family of companies actually earning more than they cost us? And as we, make that evaluation, then we can determine, okay, what are they really, really good at? And what could we help other people do? That might be building funnels. It might be doing Facebook ads. It might be doing, whatever it is. But we're in that evaluation here this year. And we're starting it here in this first quarter. We'll probably go into the next quarter. Really based on what we're learning and what we're seeing will be dependent upon when we actually make a launch of the marketing agency. And the launch is really just going to be, hey, we think we do this product the best, and we have the capacity to be able to serve more people than just our in-house team and add revenue. So 2024, if you're listening to this podcast and hearing all the decisions that we're making, we are adding revenue streams and adding every single thing that we just talked about saved us money and added revenue. So 2024 in the books is going to go from here to here. And I always knew remember when we used to talk about this when we were saying we were going to build all these companies and we just saw it happening. We said, this is going to be like this. It's going to be, okay. We're just, it's creeping. Yep. And we've got some ups and downs because we're building again. So we're just not profitable because we got to borrow money from a company that is profitable to be able to build the next one. And so ultimately the entire family is not profitable. And so we're using our investors who are like, hey, we believe in what you guys are doing. We'll help fund that growth of your business. That's how we did all of that. And we're like, in a straight line. So those of you who are listening and not watching, I've got this straight line. And we're just, kind of staying there. It is a bit of a roller coaster. So this does move kind of up and down, up and down, up and down. But here in 2024, fully intend for us to be able to look at a graph and just go like, we just, we built such a strong foundation that now our ability to decrease expenses and increase revenue quick and easy by working with the who's is just going to be exponential, and it's going to be a game changer this year.
Absolutely.
So that's behind the scenes, like crazy what we're doing this year. And I really wanted to share it. Like, I don't think very many people tell you what's going on behind the scenes when they're doing it. They tell you after it's all done. So here's what we went through in order to deal with all this. We're just telling you as we do it, partly just because we like being transparent and open with our investors and our network so that they see what we're doing. Some people will listen to things like this and be like, hey, Dani, I heard you're doing this. We can help you here, or we can actually do this. Hey, do you want to partner on this? Like, it's the way that we build so many relationships and do so many things, because we just kind of keep everybody in the loop and say, hey, this is what's going on. And we're, really excited about, the growth of the company this year.
So that was company number what, 17?
Oh, no, I'm not counting. I have no idea. Okay. I just wanted to talk about what's going on in 24.
Right. And then I'm going to tell them about, so then company number 18, this is actually a company that I've been working on behind the scenes for, gosh, I don't know how long. And I found the who, me, and it's a real special. It's called a golf course.
Oh, he does want to buy a golf course.
I think
no joke.
All we need is one, maybe two buildings. I think we can handle that. Right? One for the golf carts and the other for the bar and the whatever.
Okay.
That's it. That's all. We don't need any other buildings. Just that and 18 holes.
All right. Okay? All right. Yep.
So that's company number 18. And we'll call it Freedom Golf.
Keeping it in the family.
Yeah, that's right. But though, seriously, we are doing a lot, and you're probably sitting there and say, wow, these guys do everything that comes in front of them. And I do know for a fact that Dani knows how to say the word no.
I do.
Yes. Can I have a new car?
No.
There you go.
Funny.
Can I have next month off?
No.
See, she knows how to say no just fine.
Yes, I do say no. I say no to anything that's not aligned. So yeah, I think you bring up a good point. I think you may think that we do everything that's in front of us, but if it's not aligned, with what we're doing already and not something very simple and strategic that's actually going to help us, and that we've kind of, laid the foundation, for already, then there's no reason to add extra work to our plate. Like, this is everything that we're doing is very simple, with regard to, we're tapping into resources that we already have. And we've got the capital available, and it's going to put the company into a better situation than it is right now. So it's all for the good. They have to check all the boxes for me to say yes. So you don't hear all the ones that we go, nope.
Yeah,
not gonna work.
There's been plenty. So don't think they were just saying yes to everything. Yeah. I can think of a number of them that have come in front of us, and we think about it. We evaluate it like we would anything else, unless it's just an absolute whack job. Yeah,
or just completely not aligned, and just we just politely say, hey, that's just not something we're willing to get into at this point. So yeah. So anyways, I hope that was a fun podcast for you to listen to about what's going on, and freedom comes in many different shapes and forms. And for us, building this family of companies to serve not only us, but our team and our investors is something we're very passionate about and we love doing.
Mhm.
And so we're excited about this year to come.
And there was a lot of laughter. I did not hear a final answer on the golf course. Was there?
Oh, that one's on hold. It's just not yet. That one's just a not yet.
Man, it's always on hold.
I love you, baby.
It's always on hold. Always on hold.
We'll get there. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Let me see. What do we have going on? By the time this episode airs.
This one's next. This is going to be real quick.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So you're going to be listening to this one and we just probably recorded it. So we have probably, I don't know, one spot left in our Cottonwood townhome investment. So if you're looking for some depreciation and you want to go into a syndication that is already in the works and it's already proven itself, it's already ahead of schedule.
I saw that email last week or 2 weeks ago. I was like, dang, they're on fire up there.
They are on fire. So if you want something like that, then go to chatwithfreedom.com, scroll down and talk to Ben or CJ about that particular one. The Master Notes program right now is closed. We may open it again, but right now we just don't need the capital. It's our job to put the capital that we have in place, and that's what we're working on right now. We have another deal we're actually underwriting right now. So again, if you're interested in
multiple deals
in syndications or JV partnering, if you are somebody with a lot of capital and you want to JV with us, we actually do have some investors that are saying, hey, we've got millions of dollars to deploy, and we may be interested in just doing a JV with you, as opposed to a lot of people coming in to do a syndication. So if you're one of those people listening to this podcast, then that opportunity is absolutely something we'd be happy to talk to you about.
And one of the things that we didn't really talk about it today, but one of the areas that we're strongly going into, not fast, but we're going into is storage units.
Yes.
So if you know of anybody, or if you have a storage unit or something that you want to JV on, definitely reach out to us.
Yeah. Absolutely. And we love deals in our backyard. That's really our favorite, but we're willing to do deals in other places with the right partner. So again, reach out to us and we're happy to do the due diligence and vet the people that we're working with. And we're just excited to do some amazing things here in 2024. And if you'd like to be a part of it, reach out. We don't always say yes, as we just talked about, but when the opportunity is right and it feels aligned with what we're doing, then we absolutely are excited to be able to do something with you or other people.
That's right. Well, we hope you have a great week. Thank you so much for listening, and we will see you next Wednesday.
See you next Wednesday, everybody.
Bye. Nothing on this show should be considered specific, personal, or professional advice. Please consult an appropriate tax, legal, real estate, financial, or business professional for individualized advice. Opinions and information on the show are not guaranteed. All investment strategies have the potential for profit or loss.